Welcome back, everybody, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of AI-powered traffic management with NaviGuide. It's already making waves out there, and we're going to break down exactly how it's revolutionizing commutes in cities.
And I think what's really exciting about this is how NaviGuide really takes this concept of, smart cities and actually makes it a reality. It's not just theory, it's having a real impact on the ground. And we're seeing those changes happening right now.
So let's start with the basics for anybody who might not know. What exactly is NaviGuide, and what problem is it trying to solve?
So NaviGuide, developed by Smart Traffic Solutions, is essentially like an AI brain for a city's traffic system. It uses real-time data to predict and manage the flow of vehicles. And the goal, make traffic jams a thing of the past.
Okay, so it's like a super smart traffic conductor. But how does it actually work? Does it just look at traffic cameras?
It's way more sophisticated than that. NaviGuide actually taps into a constant stream of information from traffic cameras, GPS devices, and even social media to get this complete picture of what's happening on the roads at any given moment.
Wait, social media, how does that even play into traffic management?
Well, think about it. What do people do when there's an accident or a road closure or even just unusual traffic patterns? They post about it. And NaviGuide can actually analyze these posts in real time, and then it factors that information into its predictions.
So it's like having a crowdsourced traffic reporter working 24/7.
Exactly. And here's the really cool part. NaviGuide doesn't just react to current conditions. It combines that real-time data with historical traffic patterns, so it can anticipate congestion before it even forms.
So it's not just putting out fires, it's preventing them altogether. And that's where the real magic happens in terms of reducing commute times.
You got it. Let's say NaviGuide knows that there's a major sporting event that's letting out soon. And historically, that leads to backups on Elm Street, so it can proactively adjust traffic light timing in that area to keep things moving smoothly.
Wow, that's some next-level traffic management. But beyond just the wow factor, are there real tangible benefits that NaviGuide is delivering right now?
Absolutely. In cities where NaviGuide has been implemented, we're seeing average commute times drop by a significant 20%. That's a game changer for people's daily lives.
Imagine getting 20% of your life back. What could you do with all that extra time?
And it's not just about saving time. Think about all those cars idling in traffic, spewing out exhaust fumes. NaviGuide, by reducing that congestion, is also having a major impact on emissions.
So it's a win for the environment, too. And I know a lot of our listeners are probably wondering about this. How does all this data collection affect privacy? Is Big Brother watching my every move?
That's a valid concern, and it's something that needs to be addressed carefully. The developers of NaviGuide, they emphasize that the system is designed with privacy in mind. They use anonymized data as much as possible, and strict security protocols are in place to protect personal information.
That's reassuring to hear. After all, we want smarter cities, not creepier cities.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the big picture. What are some of the potential ripple effects of this technology?
Well, if NaviGuide continues to deliver on its promises, it could truly revolutionize urban planning. Imagine cities designed from the ground up to integrate seamlessly with these AI traffic management systems. That could lead to more efficient use of space, less pollution, and a higher quality of life for residents.
It's like we're witnessing the birth of a new era in urban design. It's really exciting.
And the applications go beyond just traffic management. Imagine the same principles being applied to public transportation, logistics, even crowd management at large events. The possibilities are vast.
This is where it gets really interesting. We're talking about using AI to optimize entire systems, making our cities run smoother, cleaner, and more efficiently.
And that's just scratching the surface. NaviGuide is really showcasing the power of AI to solve these real-world problems and improve our everyday lives.
I think it's safe to say that NaviGuide is more than just a traffic management system. It's a glimpse into a future where AI is helping us create these smarter, more sustainable, and more livable cities. This has been a great start to our deep dive into NaviGuide. We've covered a lot of ground today, what it is, how it works, and even talked about some of the potential implications for the future of our cities.
We've seen how NaviGuide is using AI to tackle traffic congestion and reduce emissions, all while aiming to protect individual privacy. It's a fascinating case study in the power and potential of AI to create positive change.
But we're just getting started. Stay tuned, because in part 2, we're going to be delving even deeper into the real-world impact of NaviGuide. We'll be exploring how it's changing commutes, transforming cities, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI-powered traffic management.
And we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts and experiences with traffic in your city in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going.
Don't forget to follow at AI for the People for more insights into the incredible world of AI. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss part 2 of our NaviGuide deep dive. We'll see you then.
Welcome back to our deep dive into NaviGuide. In part 1, we kind of explored the nuts and bolts of this AI-powered traffic management system. But now it's time to shift gears and actually talk about its real-world impact. So we're talking about how it's changing the way people experience their daily commute.
Exactly, and I'm excited to hear about some of those tangible benefits that we teased earlier. 20% reduction in average commute times, that's huge.
It is a game changer, especially for those folks who spend hours stuck in traffic every single day. Think about it. That's like an extra hour or more back in your day, every single day. That's more time with family, more time for hobbies, more time to simply relax and de-stress.
It really is like getting a slice of your life back.
Yeah.
And it's not just the individual benefits, right? Cities as a whole are seeing positive impacts from NaviGuide as well.
Absolutely. One of the biggest wins for cities is the reduction in emissions. All that stop-and-go traffic. It generates a ton of pollution, and NaviGuide is helping to address that head-on.
Yeah, it's like giving the city a breath of fresh air. I'm curious, are there any specific examples of cities that have seen significant improvements thanks to NaviGuide?
There are several success stories out there. One city that comes to mind is Denver, Colorado. They implemented NaviGuide a couple of years ago, and the results have been remarkable. They've seen a 25% drop in commute times during peak hours, and emissions have gone down by 18%.
Wow. Those are some serious numbers.
Yeah.
Denver must be thrilled with those results.
They are. And it's not just the environmental and economic benefits. There's also a noticeable improvement in the overall quality of life for residents. People are less stressed, they're spending less time in their cars, and they have more time to actually enjoy the things they love.
It sounds like NaviGuide is really helping to create a more relaxed and livable urban environment. That's a fantastic achievement.
It really is. And it highlights the power of AI to not just optimize systems, but to actually improve people's lives in a meaningful way.
Okay, so we've talked about the benefits for individuals and for cities, but I'm also curious about the impact on businesses. Is NaviGuide changing the way goods and services move around urban areas?
It most definitely is. Think about all the delivery trucks, service vehicles, and other commercial vehicles that are constantly navigating those city streets. NaviGuide is helping to optimize their routes, minimizing delays and improving efficiency.
So businesses are saving time and money on deliveries and transportation costs. That's a win-win for everyone involved.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just cost savings. More efficient delivery routes mean less time spent idling, which further reduces emissions and contributes to a cleaner city environment.
It's like this ripple effect of positive impacts spreading throughout the entire urban ecosystem. It's amazing to see how this one technology can have such far-reaching consequences.
It really speaks to the transformative potential of AI when it's applied thoughtfully and strategically.
Yeah, I know we talked about privacy concerns earlier, but I think it's worth revisiting that topic, especially as we're discussing the real-world implementation of NaviGuide. How are cities addressing these concerns and ensuring that people's data is being handled responsibly?
That's a great question, and it's something that every city implementing NaviGuide needs to take seriously. Transparency is key. Cities need to be open and upfront with their residents about what data is being collected, how it's being used, and what safeguards are in place to protect privacy.
Yeah, so no more shadowy algorithms operating in the background. People need to know what's happening with their data.
Absolutely. And cities are starting to implement some innovative solutions to address these privacy concerns. For example, some cities are giving residents the option to opt out of data collection if they prefer. Others are exploring the use of blockchain technology to create a more secure and transparent system for data management.
Those are really encouraging developments. It's all about striking that balance between innovation and protecting individual rights.
Exactly. And it's an ongoing conversation. As AI technology continues to evolve, we need to be constantly reassessing our approach to privacy and data security.
And this is where it gets really interesting for me, because it's not just about the technology itself, but about the societal and ethical implications. NaviGuide is kind of forcing us to rethink how we manage our cities and how we balance progress with privacy.
You hit the nail on the head. Technology is never just about the technology itself. It's always embedded within this larger social and ethical context. And it's our responsibility to engage in these conversations and ensure that AI is developed and deployed in a way that benefits everyone.
It's about shaping the future we want, not just passively accepting whatever technology throws our way.
Precisely. And that's what makes this conversation so important. It's not just about the wow factor of AI. It's about how we use this powerful tool to create a better world.
Speaking of a better world, one of the aspects of NaviGuide that I find so fascinating is its potential to contribute to a more sustainable future. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Of course. We've already touched on the emission reductions that come with reducing traffic congestion, but there's more to the story. NaviGuide can also help to promote alternative modes of transportation.
Well, that's interesting. How does it do that?
Well, by providing real-time traffic information and route optimization, NaviGuide can make public transportation a much more attractive option. People can see exactly when the next bus or train is arriving, and they can plan their journeys accordingly. It also helps to integrate different modes of transportation, making it easier for people to seamlessly switch between, say, a train ride and a bike share.
So it's not just about cars. It's about creating this more holistic and sustainable transportation ecosystem.
Exactly. And that's a crucial step towards reducing our reliance on cars and creating a more environmentally friendly future.
This brings up another thought for me. We've talked a lot about the positive impacts of NaviGuide, but are there any potential downsides or challenges that cities need to be aware of?
That's a great question. Like any technology, NaviGuide isn't a silver bullet. There are potential challenges that need to be addressed thoughtfully. One challenge is ensuring equitable access to the benefits of this technology. Not everyone has a smartphone, or access to reliable internet service. And we need to make sure that no one is left behind in this AI-driven world.
That's such a crucial point. We can't allow AI to exacerbate existing social inequalities. We need to find ways to make sure that everyone can benefit from these advancements.
Absolutely. And cities are starting to explore solutions like providing free Wi-Fi in public areas, developing alternative ways to access NaviGuide information, and investing in digital literacy programs.
Those are great steps in the right direction. It's about making sure the technology serves everyone, not just the privileged few.
Exactly. And another challenge is ensuring that NaviGuide is implemented in a way that respects the unique character and needs of each city. We don't want a one-size-fits-all approach. Each city has its own traffic patterns, infrastructure limitations, and cultural considerations.
That makes sense. We don't want to lose the charm and individuality of our cities in the pursuit of efficiency.
Precisely. It's about finding that sweet spot, where technology enhances the urban experience without erasing the unique qualities that make each city special.
This has been such an enlightening conversation. We've covered a lot of ground, from the practical benefits of NaviGuide to these broader societal and ethical considerations. But as we wrap up part 2 of our deep dive, I'm left wondering, what does the future hold for NaviGuide and for AI-powered traffic management as a whole?
That's a great question, and it's one that we'll be exploring in depth in part 3 of our deep dive. Stay tuned because we're about to take a glimpse into the future of smart cities and discover what's on the horizon for this really exciting technology.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent the last 2 parts really getting to know NaviGuide, this incredible AI that's tackling traffic like a super smart conductor. But now let's turn our attention to the future. What's next for NaviGuide? And what does its success tell us about the bigger picture of AI in our cities?
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be thinking about smart cities, and NaviGuide is right at the forefront. I think what we're seeing now is just the tip of the iceberg.
I love that analogy, the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
It really does feel like we're on the verge of some major breakthroughs. What are some of the potential advancements or applications of NaviGuide that you're most excited about?
Well, one area that I think has huge potential is the integration of NaviGuide with other smart city initiatives. So imagine a city where traffic flow, public transportation, parking availability, even pedestrian movement are all coordinated by AI working in harmony.
It's like the city becomes this single interconnected organism with AI as its central nervous system.
Exactly. And that level of coordination could lead to incredible efficiency gains. Imagine a scenario where NaviGuide anticipates a surge in demand for public transit, maybe because of a concert letting out, and it automatically adjusts traffic light timing to prioritize buses and trains.
So instead of competing for space on the roads, different modes of transportation are working together seamlessly.
Precisely. And that kind of integration could extend to other areas as well. Like imagine NaviGuide communicating with smart parking systems to direct drivers to available spots, reducing the time spent circling the block, and further decreasing congestion.
It's all about creating a more fluid and efficient urban environment. And with the rise of electric vehicles, I imagine NaviGuide could play a role in optimizing charging infrastructure as well.
Absolutely. NaviGuide could help drivers find available charging stations, even reserve a spot in advance. And as we move towards a future with more autonomous vehicles, its ability to manage these complex traffic flows will become even more crucial.
It's mind-boggling to think about all the possibilities. But as we embrace these advancements, I think it's important to keep asking those critical questions about the societal and ethical implications of AI.
I couldn't agree more. Technology is a powerful tool, and it's our responsibility to use it wisely and thoughtfully.
So what are some of the key considerations we should be keeping in mind as AI becomes more integrated into our cities?
Well, we've already touched on the importance of privacy and data security. As AI systems collect more and more data about our movements and behaviors, we need to have really robust safeguards in place to protect individual rights.
Yeah, transparency is key. People need to know what data is being collected, how it's being used, and who has access to it.
Exactly. And we also need to be mindful of potential biases that can actually creep into AI algorithms. So if an AI system is trained on data that reflects existing societal inequalities, it could end up perpetuating those biases in its decision-making.
So for example, if NaviGuide's data primarily comes from wealthier neighborhoods, it might not accurately reflect the traffic patterns and needs of lower-income communities.
That's a great example. We need to ensure that AI systems are trained on diverse and representative data sets to avoid amplifying existing inequalities.
Diversity and inclusion are crucial in every aspect of AI development and deployment.
Absolutely. And another key consideration is accessibility. We need to make sure that the benefits of AI-powered technologies like NaviGuide are available to everyone, regardless of their income, tech savviness, or physical abilities.
It's about creating a more equitable and inclusive urban environment where everyone can thrive.
Exactly. And it's not just about providing access to the technology itself. It's also about educating people about how to use it and ensuring that everyone feels comfortable and empowered in this increasingly digital world.
Yeah, digital literacy is going to become more and more important as AI becomes more pervasive in our lives.
I couldn't agree more. We need to equip everyone with the knowledge and skills they need to navigate this rapidly evolving technological landscape.
Well, as we wrap up our deep dive into NaviGuide, I'm left feeling incredibly optimistic about the future of smart cities. It's clear that AI has the potential to transform our urban environments for the better, making them more efficient, sustainable, and livable.
But it's also clear that we need to be thoughtful and intentional about how we develop and deploy this powerful technology. It's up to all of us to ensure that AI is used in a way that benefits everyone and creates a future that we can all be proud of.
It's been an incredible journey exploring the world of NaviGuide and the transformative potential of AI. We've covered a lot of ground, from the technical details to the ethical considerations and everything in between.
And we've just scratched the surface. The field of AI is constantly evolving, and we can expect to see even more innovative solutions like NaviGuide emerge in the years to come.
So to our listeners, we leave you with this. Stay curious, stay informed, and engage in the conversation about the future of AI. It's a future that we're all creating together.
And don't forget to follow @AI for the People for more insights and updates on the incredible world of AI. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.